So if you haven't seen our previous videos, we've been going through this calendar that we got from TheChosen behind the scenes. One of the crew members posted this calendar that has the shot list basically for every single scene that they've shot so far in TheChosen Season 4. I know, I don't understand how it got out to the public either, but here we are. So we've been going through it day by day, trying to figure out what the most interesting things in this are. And now we're coming up to a scene that I think a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time, including myself. And I knew that it was actually coming up in this season, but now we get actual confirmation. So let's check out what this scene is, talk about it a little bit, but then also dive into scripture and talk about exactly what this means for TheChosen Season 4 and for a special character that we met last season. Let's jump into it. So this is the calendar. If you remember, we can see the numbers there next to these scenes, and that shows us the episode. The first number is the episode, and then the next numbers are the shot list within that episode. At least that's what I believe is actually happening here. I could be totally wrong and just look like an idiot once this is all done, but I don't really think so. So here we go. If we move on to day 43, we see here a very short shot of some scenes here. Now, the first one is Jerusalem. I believe this is probably in the Sanhedrin or some other location within Jerusalem. This is episode 2. We've seen a lot of those scenes here. But episode 5, that second one there, we get Bethany. Now, Bethany is a place that we haven't seen too much of so far. And in fact, we haven't seen Lazarus or Mary or Martha yet. However, this, at least one moment of Bethany, shows us that there definitely could be more moments of Bethany coming along, meaning that Mary and Martha scene is all but confirmed for Season 4. And again, as we look at the timeline of TheChosen, we know that Season 5 is going to be Holy Week, and that's past Lazarus' death and resurrection. So if Season 4 is right before that, I assume that Episode 7 and Episode 8 are actually going to have to do with Lazarus' death and resurrection. This is going to be really, really cool, but actually in all of it, I think I'm most excited for the conversation between Mary and Martha. So if we dive into this, we can actually see this scripture right here. And this is in Luke chapter 10, right there. So we see Luke chapter 10, verse 38. We see Mary and Martha. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. Remember, Mary and Martha and Lazarus are all friends of Jesus. They've known him from the very beginning. At least in TheChosen, that's how it's portrayed. Now, we know that Lazarus and him were close because Jesus was very upset when Lazarus died. And so this is a pretty big deal. They're all friends. This would be a normal thing, right? And so Martha welcomed him into her home. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her." So that's pretty awesome. I love that verse so much. I love this passage. It shows us so much about Mary and Martha's character that we haven't seen in TheChosen so far, right? And so we know that Martha is more of a busybody. She's like wanting to get this work done. She's wanting to serve people, and it's all for good intentions. But she's not doing the best thing. While she could be doing a good thing, she's not doing the best thing. And the best thing is to serve God, right? To serve Jesus in that moment, to show him that you love him, that you want to sit at his feet and to learn from him. And so Mary does the good thing. She does the best thing. And she sits at the feet of Jesus and is learning from him, talking to him. Now, while we met Mary and Martha in Season 3, we really haven't gotten a ton of character development or big understanding of who they are, how their characters work quite yet. Although I think we're going to get more and more of that. But I do think that this scene is not only for that. It's not only for Mary and Martha, but it's also going to set up a relationship with Jesus, his disciples, Lazarus, maybe Mother Mary's there as well, because remember she was asked to go there after Season 3 when the whole thing happened with Nazareth, right? And so this is going to be really, really interesting. Here's how I expect it to go from my perspective. If you're liking this video and you want to see more from us, it would really help us out if you would subscribe to our channel. YouTube really takes into account how much people like and subscribe and look at different videos. So it would really help us if you were to give some of those signals to YouTube so that they know our channel's good and it deserves to grow. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I think that we're going to see a few scenes in Bethany for sure, with Jesus and Mary and Martha and Lazarus and all of them, maybe Mother Mary as well. And we're going to see these scenes kind of happen. We're going to see the Mary Martha scene where Jesus kind of corrects Martha, and that's going to be a really amazing part. I think a lot of people are going to relate to that so much, and that scene's going to be awesome. But then we're also going to get a moment where Lazarus, alone by himself, starts to show us signs of him getting sick, that he's actually not doing very well at all. And then Jesus is going to leave, everyone's going to leave, and Lazarus is not going to want to show them that he's sick, because he's humble about it, right? He doesn't want Jesus to have to waste time on him or to have to do all these things. While he believes in Jesus and is obviously very close to him, he doesn't want to have to go through this. So I bet that that's what's going to happen. Like, Jesus is going to be walking away with the disciples, and then Lazarus is going to like cough into a napkin, and there's going to be like blood there or something, right? That would be my guess for sure. We don't know exactly how Lazarus dies, but that would be my guess as to kind of what is going on with him. As we know, it's some sort of illness that killed him pretty quickly. And the reason why, well, we're definitely going to see Lazarus resurrected because he's there in the later portions when we've seen flash forwards, right, during the Christmas special, different things like that. So there's no way we go through season 4 without seeing the death and resurrection of Lazarus, because that would be very, very needed. What's the word? It's a requirement for season 4. Because of the timeline that we have, at least if they're not, kind of changing things around, he is the catalyst that kind of brings us into Holy Week, that brings us into the betrayal and everything else, right? This is why the Sanhedrin and the Sadducees specifically really, really hated Jesus, because of this resurrection. They didn't believe in the resurrection. And so they really believed that Jesus was like this demonic figure, like not the Messiah at all. And so they really turn this into something else, right? Really, really crazy overall. Absolutely. Let's see. So also another thing that I probably won't make a video, but there's this other portion of this, this section here. So we see Bethany. We see Shmuel underneath that as well. Maybe Shmuel's bedroom, something like that. And then we also see Arnon. Now, I can't read the rest of this. I don't know what the rest of this says. It just says Arnon. So that word Arnon, a descendant of David. So as we look at that, like, I don't really know what that would mean. I don't know why that would be in there, or like what location that would mean. Because the rest of it's kind of crossed out. You can't really see it. Thank you so much for checking out this small part of our live stream. You can check out the entire live stream and full podcasts over on our Patreon at patreon.com/thesnipelife. This is by far the best way to help us in our ministry, so thank you so much to those that are on our Patreon already, and we'll see the rest of you over there, hopefully. We'd love to hit 300 patrons this year, so you could really, really help us out. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.